morning everyone. So it's the ungodly hour of 5:30 and we've just left the overnight stay. Heading towards the ferry terminal. The last check-in is at 6:10, and I think the ferry goes around 7. So heading there to get a nice early check-in. Don't know whether any of this will get picked up on the GoPro with it being dark. So we'll see, I guess. It's a nice morning. It's not too cold. There's a bit of cloud over there on the horizon. We might get a nice sunset at the harbour as well, which will be nice. It's quite a long ferry sailing this morning. It's like 4 hours and 45 minutes or something, so we're going to be on it for a while. As we're in B&B and we missed our breakfast this morning, the ladies made us a packed lunch to take, which is nice. So that should keep us going, although to be honest, it's a bit early for that sort of food yet. And I think we might fancy grabbing a breakfast when we get on the ferry anyway. Luckily we don't have the world's noisiest motorbike, otherwise that would have woken everybody up in the house, but still more noisy than a car. It's difficult trying to leave in a quiet, subtle way when you're packing bags and loading things up, but I think we did a decent job, to be honest. Ferry's already in the harbour, we saw it last night. It's quite surreal actually. Sit in the harbour and just you walk around the edge of the Royal Mail building there and then you see this huge ferry parked up. Should catch sight of it soon. Hoping they might let us board a little early as soon as the ferry's already there, because usually one of the things you have to do, what we've experienced so far, is that you need to wait until the ferry's gone. The ferry comes in and then you have to wait for all the cars to unboard, and then the guys need to go in and give it a clean and a wash down and all ready for the next group of passengers. But I would assume all of that was done last night and then it's just sitting there ready to be boarded, so that'd be kind of cool if it is. Might get on a little bit earlier, get a nice seat and a bit of brekkie. Fancying a cooked one, to be honest. So I'm really hoping that the ferry can offer that for us. So it's 5:30, so we're going to be early. Might be a bit of a bump. Might be a bit of a coffee stop maybe, don't know. It is strange that with the exception of a Wednesday, the only ferry that leaves Barrow and goes back to Oban is a early morning one. Leaves a little later on a Saturday morning, leaves an hour later, so check-in's at 7 and it leaves at 8, and there's the ferry. But the rest of the time, check-in is at, well, check-in closes at 6:10 and it leaves at 7. Morning! Cool place. And if you get the opportunity to do an island hopping holiday, I highly recommend it. It's awesome fun. I enjoyed what we did yesterday though. Having 2 nights in the same place just meant that we could unload the bike a bit and lighten her up for a little bit of exploring of the island, which was nice. So the plan today is ferry for, like I say, just under 5 hours, and then after that we stop at Oban, but only for about an hour and a half, and then we're back on another ferry straight back out to Mull, and we're due to be in Mull about 3:05 this afternoon, so that's quite nice. So we'll go straight to the digs, get checked in, dump some stuff maybe, and then we'll have a bit of an explore around Mull tomorrow at the end of the rest of the day today, and then again tomorrow. And there's the ferry, and look at that, we're not even first ones here. Wow. Couple of HGVs all queued up ready to go. nip in front of this guy. Avoid stopping on the water. And there we go. Right, we'll pop back on when it's time aboard. Cheers. And we're off another ferry. Okay, so we got off the ferry from Barra, we had a little walk around Oban, and now we're just sitting waiting to get back onto the next ferry that's going to take us out to Mull. It's a significantly bigger ferry port this than where we got on. Also looks to be a 488 Ferrari there, heading out onto, that's to Barra, I think, that ferry, so that's kind of cool. I believe once we're loaded we're going to tuck down through these cones, which is going to be a bit of a tricky one, and then just park along that white fence and wait for our shot, I think. Come near the fence. Okay, so we just jumped on the ferry from Oban over to Mull. The first time I didn't have the camera on when I boarded the ferry, so that's slightly annoying. But rest assured, we are on. I did ride it on. About an hour across the sea to Mull, and then as long as I remember to put the camera back on, we'll catch the boarding and the first little ride out on the Mull. Alright, catch you in a bit. Let's go. Island number, is this 4? Okay, and this is Tobermory. Just kind of sighted those coloured houses just through the trees a little, about a mile or so back. Oh, seafood shop, very nice. Found our hotel room. Fairways Lodge is where we're staying tonight. And what a beautiful place. Have a look at the view out the window. Just wait for the camera to adjust. Look at that. Absolutely stunning views. So that's where we're staying tonight. Apparently Tobermory itself isn't very far away from where we are. 8-minute walk or something. So I think at the minute we're probably just going to leave the bike and go and have a wander and a bit of exploring Tobermory, and then we'll get the bike back out later on, maybe see if we want to go and explore a little bit further. But the sun's out, it's lovely weather, time to go for an explore. Okay, so this is Tobermory Harbour. You can probably tell by the famous coloured houses in the background. I was hoping to get the drone up and do a bit of flight here, but my phone's charge socket no longer works, so obviously I can't connect the drone to the controller, so the drone won't fly. My wife very kindly let me use her phone, but for whatever reason it's decided to sign the account out, and there's no data where we are in the harbour. So without being signed in, I can only fly 50 metres away from the controller, which isn't quite enough to get around there. But the drone footage I have got, I'll put in there now. Still good footage. It just would have been nice if it was a little bit further away. So don't know what's wrong with my Samsung phone. It's only just over a year old, but the charge socket doesn't seem to want to work with the proper charger, and it doesn't seem to want to work with any other leads at all. So as with these things, it's probably just out of warranty as well. But beautiful harbour, the weather's gorgeous as well, and we decided to leave the bike and just have a wander down. Got a nice booking for dinner, got a little pub in the front, so that should be cool. Yeah, so it's all good. We've come out for a bit of an evening ride down towards the town of Kilgarry. We thought that we'd do this tonight for two reasons. One, well, primarily the reason is that the road seems to be full of interesting switchbacks. So we thought if we do it on a night, A, it'll be quieter, and B, we've emptied the top box and the panniers and left them in the room, so she should be a lot lighter, which should hopefully make it easier if we do get around here and we find that they're actually quite intense switchbacks. I guess we won't know till we start. We can only give it a go, and if we get there and we find they're a little bit much, and sort of an inexperienced rider like myself, if they're a little bit too much, we'll just spin it back around and go. We had an interesting description of one from a chap we met on Barra, and he was implying that some of them were almost full 180s with your handlebars in the air. So he described it as a technical road. So I guess we'll see. Well, so far the twisties haven't been too bad, but I think we're coming up to the main section now by the looks of the Google Maps, or one of them at least. So I guess we'll see what they're like in a sec. Look at that little boat down there. Definitely some midges about. I can catch them in the front screen of the bike. And a little bit that isn't a passing spot. See if we can't get a bit of droneage. Fancy a bit of droneage? Some drone footage in the bag, which hopefully you'll be seeing on your screen now. So after the drone footage, we're back on this little twisty windy road again. We had to do a quick swap from midgie nets to helmets again because they're out in force tonight. Yeah, they're just a pain and annoying. But we got the smidge midgie nets, which meant we could sit there and fly the drone and not be chewed alive, which is always nice. You can see, I don't know if you can see it on the GoPro, but it sort of spirals off over there at the side. Nice road. Super pretty. I feel like I've got a midgie up my trouser leg, which I'm not entirely sure how we managed to get up there, because I have got quite tight fitting jeans on, but there you go. Little whatever. Right, I don't know whether you can see this on the GoPro, but there's definitely a bit of loose chipping on the surface, specifically in the middle, I guess where it doesn't get worn in or away by the car tyres. So again, caution's the name of the game really. Just taking it easy, nice and steady, nice evening drive, no rush. Don't have any real time we need to be anywhere for, we're just enjoying it. This looks like a little bit of a switchback coming up here. We'll have a nice wide line, I think. Drop her down to first. And there we go, that one wasn't too bad. Okay, well if that's the sort of thing, then that's not too bad, we can handle that. It's not just the turns in these, they've got the camber, which again probably doesn't get picked up on the GoPro very well, but there's a hell of a camber on it. There's a definite ridge in the centre of the road, so you just need to take that into consideration, I guess, when you're turning. Okay, back on a right hand switchback this time, not too bad, and then it tightens mid corner. First gear again, up and round. Wow, it's like a Scottish version of the San Bernardino Pass. And then we have another switchback. Off camber again, up and round we go. And again. I'd like to say that was the trickiest stretch, but I'm not convinced that it is. I think this is the road that the chap on Barrow was telling us about. I can't, well, unless there's another one like it, but I found that difficult to believe. I certainly didn't see anything on the map that switched back like this. Okay, here's another really tight open lefter. First gear again, up and round she goes. Again, I've gone with the walking boots for grip. So if you're watching and you keep seeing me hit a false neutral, it's not anything to do with the bike, it's because it's a little bit harder to kick past neutral in these trainers, but I guess the trade-off is that they've got much better grip on the floor if I need to put my foot down. So and again, hard switch back to the left, and up and round she comes, and over the crest. Oh, that was fun. That wasn't too bad at all. I think we've potentially probably got now the same going down. I guess this is a little easier because we can just leave her in gear and let her ride down and cover the brakes. What a lovely road. What a lovely road. And as it stands at the minute, we have it all to ourselves. Not a fan of these blind switchbacks, mind, I have to say. You never know whether you're going to find a car coming down them possibly a little bit too fast. It's almost a full 180, that one. I honestly feel that by the time that we're back off this, or back from this road trip, there's going to be very little that we haven't driven on in terms of road surface, road condition, road size, road speed, camber, direction, angle changes. It's a bit of everything. Might be a little bit in at the deep end, but the only way you learn is to practice, I guess, as long as you're doing it safely and carefully, which is what we're doing. I mean that's right out of Gran Turismo, that corner. Look at that. Wow. We're definitely going to want first for this. See if we can swing out and pull through the apex. There we go. Nice and steady does it. There's been a little caterer following us around on some of the islands. I don't know whether he's already driven on here, but that would be an absolute hoot in something like that. Especially when it's quiet like this, you could turn it in and have a little bit of slip from the back. It would be awesome fun. Not that we need to trigger it on the trip, but I'm kind of glad right now that the Honda A has combined brakes and B has ABS. Not that you should ever rely on things like that, but it is good to know that if something does go wrong, that there is some sort of electronic safety net. Although, as I say, it's always better, I guess, to drive within your skill level to start with and not have to trigger it, but sometimes it's not just about your skill level, sometimes it's about what other people are doing on the road as well, and there's only so much of that you can take account for.